Good afternoon everyone and welcome to today's art stream. It's been literally only 48 hours since the last one. I always feel like it's much longer ago that I've streamed, but nope, Wednesdays and Fridays are pretty close together. Anyway, as you can see, we are working on something new today. This is, well, relatively new. This is another Tiefling, because Tieflings are great. But this one is a Tiefling bard, as you can see. She's got a lovely little violin, and is just, you know, really cute. So that's basically what we're working on today. So as you can see, I've already done about half the line work. So before we move on to anything else, we're going to finish that off. Thank you very, very much for Pumpkin Pip for following, and to Rebel for hosting very kindly, as always. Okay, so I'm going to leap right back into the line work here. I'm gonna just realize I haven't done the little loop on the violin there, so I'm just gonna pop that in first, and I'm gonna do it in the right color. That would be smart. But it's Friday, which means it's almost the weekend, which means more to some people than others. I hope everyone had a nice, safe Thanksgiving yesterday, those of you that celebrate it. Personally, I don't, because I'm in the UK and it's not really a thing here, but I know it's very important to a lot of my folks in the US, so. Okay. Right, let's carry on with this arm. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, Neptune was a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun with Tieflings lately. I've been commissioned some truly lovely Tieflings, so having a blast with all of those at the moment. Also, a lot of billowy shirts lately as well. That's another theme I've noticed. Seems to be quite popular right now. But to be honest, billowy shirts will always be in fashion, and that's how it should be. Thank you so much, Athelgar, for following. I hope you enjoy the stream. Okay, there is sleeve number 2, so let's work up with the bracer in the hand, and then we can move across to the rest of the outfit. Hopefully that won't take us long to get done, and we can move straight on to the main thing I want to do today, which is the painting stage. Okay, so as you can see, I did use a careful reference for this one. If we get around to painting the violin, I'll be having that up at the same time. Because musical instruments, intricate as heck to paint. Complicated buggers. Okay. Getting the curve of these fingers right was took me a couple of attempts, since you got to have very specific positioning for playing most musical instruments. Violin is one of the few musical instruments I have never actually tried. There we go with the hand. So the next thing to do is just to add a little line here from the violin coming across, like so. So that top part's done. Then we'll do the strings separately, which means we can kind of render them separately as well. And now we can just carry on with the tunic, and we'll probably do the braid and the tail last, I think. So I've got a details layer kind of going on here. I'm going to use that to do the belt and the little side satchel first, I think, on top. this character belongs to another commissioner off Twitter. Unfortunately, they couldn't make it to the stream today, but I don't actually know what this character's name is. But they are a Tiefling bard. That much I know. Let's add in a little buckle here on the belt for a bit of detail. Like so, just put a few little holes in there, and then erase where it goes across where the bow needs to be. Chase that down there, and I'm just going to tidy up this line through here. It's a bit too, coming out a bit too far. Okay, I'm gonna do the belt underneath before I render out before I line out the little satchel. Whoops, I'm really bad at doing smooth lines today, huh? There we go. You'd think that, wouldn't you? I have had I mean, to be fair, I hadn't actually painted that many tieflings for a while prior to doing this run that I'm doing at the moment, so it's been nice to have some more. Okay, I think at this point, there's a few bits I want to just poke down and even out a bit. So I'm going to go back to liquefy, which is one of our favorite little tools. Pop down here. Just even out that line there. That's better. Tiefling bards are always great. Try and get through this line out quickly so we can move on to the fun parts. Ugh. No, that way. My fringe is really misbehaving today. I had to chop some off of it because it's so long, and obviously no one's getting their hair cut right now because that would be silly. But goodness gracious, it does get in the way. Okay, that's that side bit. Let's do the other side. Alright, let's add some of the detail to the top now on the layer underneath. Outfit shop, work with me here. So laggy sometimes. Jesus Christ. There we go. Nope. There we go, that's the problem. Okay. The It'll be a nice kind of padded leather vest when it's finished. Alright, now we'll just carry on those patterns up here. I'm actually just going to draw right through that strap because we can erase that in a bit. That one's not angled quite right. Let's do that one again. There we go, that's better. Okay, now we can erase like here. And down here. Alright, we're nearly ready. We just need to do the trousers, the tail, and the braid, and we're ready to start colouring. Libri Arcano, hi, welcome to the stream. I'm doing very well, thank you. It's been a rather busy week in some ways, and quiet in others. Still trying to sort out mortgage stuff at the moment, which is an absolute headache. But we're getting there. Alright, the most important lines here are obviously the individual lines that divide the legs and the seams, which we have kind of coming down in a few places. Whoops. I thought the bow was on a different layer, but never mind. Alright, then we've got a little seam coming up here. And then the other leg. Oh, we haven't done the little bag yet. Goodness gracious, let's do that next. I completely lost track of that one. I might do this so the bag is kind of bolted, well not bolted, but riveted on this part here. Okay. Nope, not a 3. That's tiny. 6 minimum. We actually want a little buckle in the middle, so let's get rid of some space for that. Like so. Let's put in the bits around it back in. Okay. Let's do the sides and the top, obviously. bottom. I would love a maraca bard. That would be amazing. It just reminds me of Tokyo Mew Mew and the combat castanets. That was a classic. Alright, there's the little hip bag. Now we can get on with finishing the trousers. This comes out too far. So let's bring it back in a bit. Thank you so much to Duke Arrel and Anne Catherine for following. I hope you enjoy the stream. Oh, we do not want a 6, that's the other thing. We'll go back up to an 8. And these meant to be fairly loose trousers, so that's why I'm being fairly loose with the line art as well. Okay, so now we just have to do the braid and the tail. We'll start with the braid. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to merge these two layers down together. And now we've basically got the head and the body, which can also be merged together, I think. Yes. Lovely. So we can make a new layer underneath, just because I like to keep things separate. No, wrong way. Come on, fringe. And we will do the braid next. If you know Photoshop doesn't boot me out or something. I'll go down to a 7 for this, because we're going to have some kind of detailed areas. Okay, so I've got the basic structure of the braid kind of lined out. We can go ahead and put in the detail lines. It doesn't matter we're going over the bow because we've done it on a separate layer, basically so that we don't need to worry about going over other things and we can just erase the crossover later. I'm just going to erase these bits now so that I don't forget to, because I'm very good at forgetting to erase bits that are crossing over. Okay. A tiny bit more here. There we go. Okay, so it's nearly finished with this braid. Let's just carry on working our way down. Whoops. Jumped us across a bit then. Now we can put in the tie. And the little trailing bit. Nearly there. Okay, just a few more stray kind of bits of hair coming off of this little lower section, and we're good to go. Fantastic. Okay, so we have the braid finished. The last thing to do is the tail. Nice to meet you. Thank you so much. Yeah, that pink tiefling was so much fun to paint. I just enjoyed doing that so much. Right, so we're just gonna tidy up these edges, tiny bit here, and then the braid can actually be merged in with the rest of the line art. Just reminding myself to just call it lines so I don't forget. Okay. And now for the tail. Go back up to an 8 for now, I think. Oh, this should also be also on multiply. Do we have either brush size or opacity tied to pressure? Yes, definitely. In fact, both are tied to pressure. Let me just show you my brush settings. When they load up, there we go. As you can see in shape dynamics, pen pressure is the control for the size differentiation, and using transfer I can also make it the differentiation for the opacity. So as you can see, I can vary the minimum maximum. I always have it on minimum because I like to do very light feathery lines, and that's kind of, yeah, that's kind of the settings I use. Okay, so let's do the top of the tail. And then a little bit of cutting back to get the shape we want. And then let's do the spade right at the top. He's actually got a slightly damaged spade. We'll just do cutting across the top there as my computer catches up with my pen. Alright, we have a finished line art, which I'm very pleased with. So, what am I going to do now? First of all, you do not need the sketch anymore. Well, actually, there is one thing we haven't done. First of all, do I want the tail? I think I do want it all merged together. So, let's first of all just pop down here. It's going to erase that line there so the hair and the tail aren't crossing each other over, and we're going to merge this down. Once again, call out lines. The very last thing I want to do, whoops, go away, is actually I need to do the bowstring. So what I'm going to do is we're going to start off just by making a straight line down here. And we are going to take this line over to roughly the right area and just basically try and fit it in. Tiny little bit shallower that way. There we go, perfect. So with that done, what we need to do next, under liquefy, when it loads. No, let's save now, just in case. Go back to liquefy. Come on. Let me on liquefy. What are you doing? There we go. Big brush, because I want to very gently get it to bend in the middle. There we go. That's what I wanted. Only that might be almost be a tiny bit too strong. I might just push it back a tiny bit. There we go, that's better. Now we can just erase where it goes over our edges. Come on, Photoshop, please. You don't need to do this. There we go, lovely. And we have our bow line, our bowstring. In fact, I'm gonna name that now so I don't remember. I'm sure it has a technical name on a violin, the bowstring, but I don't know it. Right, so now it is time to delete the sketch. We no longer need it. As you can see, I pre-prepared a color palette that we're going to use. Because this tiefling is bright red, which is really good fun. Also, whoops. Oh, I hate it when it does that. The annoying thing about accidentally cropping your work, at least in my version of Photoshop, if you hit Ctrl-Z to do undo just after you crop, it crashes the whole thing. So I have to remember to do something else in between doing that. Very annoying. Anyway, I just realised something else I hadn't done yet. Tiny bit of line art I'd left out. A little thumb peeking down here. So let's pop that in right now. Because it's quite important. It changes that whole hand up. Okay, now we are ready. I'm just going to pull this up a tiny bit like I did before. Make sure I'm not on crop anymore. And make a new layer called skin. And for this, I will bring up my ref image so I actually know what I'm doing. Lovely. Now I have something to work from. Cool, so we're gonna get started right away by putting in our base skin tone. And this is going to appear on the face, the hands, the shoulders are just peeking through, and the tail. So what am I going to use as the base? I think we're going to go with the slightly muted red that isn't quite as bright as the one next to it. That'll be more for the cheeks, where you'll get a bit more kind of rosiness. Yeah, it's a really annoying bug. I don't know if there's a fix for it. I feel like I have updated Photoshop since I noticed it. Or whether it's just me, but oh well. It's got me enough times that I don't take the risk these days. And let's go down to a smaller brush for the tips of the horns. Come on, Photoshop. Then we can switch back to a bigger brush for the rest. Thank you so much, W12 Jamie, for following. I hope you enjoyed the stream. It is the week of tieflings here. And thank thank you, the Game Mommy, for following as well. Goodness me, we're getting all the follows right now. Thank you all so much. It's a nice shade of red. I really like slightly muted kind of spice reds. Nope, I have to wait for Photoshop to catch up. There we go. Oh, did the stream just drop for a second there? That's unusual. Right, slightly larger brush, we can fill this in more quickly. Okay, that's the little hairline bit done. That was one of the little annoying pieces. Let's just do that corner. And this character is going to have white hair, which will be a really nice contrast with the rich red. Oh, that's gone over a little bit down there. Let's just neaten that up. There we go. Then we've just got a tiny bit to connect up here with the forehead. Alright, now we'll just do the neck. Next part to do. Can I tell you about this character? All I know about this particular character, as they were kind of a commission from someone else to me, they are a Tiefling bard. Not only do they play the violin, they also have a lute, but the commissioner wanted to have the violin kind of featured in this one. But they seem very upbeat and sweet and adorable, and they just seem really cute, and I've enjoyed drawing them a lot so far. But yeah, that's kind of all I know about her at the moment. She is going to have kind of simple leather armor over a nice white billowy shirt, and she's going to have kind of white flowy hair as well when we get around to that. That'll be what we do after we finish the skin stage. Alright, let's just fill in this area down here. Nice. Right, okay, so now we've done the face, we can do the shoulders and the hands. Probably do those next. Starting with the shoulder. No, they're not actually my character. As I say, they belong to a Twitter commissioner. But this is their main D&D character. My main at the moment is actually a Tiefling barbarian who I think I drew on stream a few months ago. I played them on a Wednesday evening. It was hilarious. I managed to get 2 nat 20s in a row, just demolishing a cave of ooblexes. It was amazing. My character is also super suspicious of the Blood Hunter, not Blood Hunter, I think they're actually a warlock, in the party, because they keep claiming to not be a vampire, but then they don't eat anything, and they've got super pale, cold skin, and they bite things. So I think I'm within my rights to suspect them of vampirism. Okay, let's just fill in the other shoulder now. We can get with a big brush in this, if Photoshop lets me. Oh my goodness, it's really being quite slow tonight, isn't it? What else am I running? Yeah, it's not like I've got Destiny up or anything. Okay, second shoulder has been filled in. Let's move on to hands. Love Tiefling barbarians. And yeah, it's pretty sus. Although I can't really talk because my barbarian is the beast subclass, which means they can technically restore health from biting people also. So don't really have a leg to stand on with my argument. I've just got to get the rest of the party members to back me up. And ignore the fact that I can savage people with my own teeth to regain health. It's true, but the other problem is there's this other really cute tiefling bard in the party that my character kind of likes, and the vampire keeps flirting with them, so my character's like, grr! Jealousy. But also protect. I don't want my friend to get eaten by this horny vampire. I would like to rage. Exactly. Alright, hand numero uno. Oop, let's just do the thumb. I always forget the thumb. Feel bad for it. And the other hand. But the other problem is my tiefling is the Levistus bloodline, and by complete happenstance they found a Stygian ice crown in the last dungeon we ran through. So I kind of have possibly the voice of my great-great-great-granddad Levistus whispering in my ear telling me to do bad things. So that's also a bit of a bummer there. Reduces my credibility as a trustworthy barbarian. Yeah, it was completely by chance that I was the one that picked up this Stygian artifact, so whoops. Alright, finally the tail! And once we've got this done, we can start the fun bit, which is the shading and giving the good contours to the face and getting that nice 3D look. Alright, we're nearly there now. Long, smooth shapes like this can be a bit of a pain sometimes because you need to try and keep the line uniform all the way up. But with a bit of time, it gets there. Also, I found myself thinking, what do I have for food tonight? I was gonna make lasagna today and just ran out of time. Wonder if I can get away with doing takeaway tonight. Would be good. so. I mean, it is Friday. And last 2 weeks ago, not that bad. 2 weeks ago, we did find a really nice hot dog place that delivered locally. We don't get a lot of great takeaways where I live. And also I have a really bad peanut allergy, so I cannot risk doing Thai, Indian, or Chinese takeaway, and it breaks my heart because Indian and Chinese food are two of my favorite things in the whole world. So basically I just have to learn to cook them myself. But hot dogs usually don't have peanuts in, so I tend to be safe there. Alright, almost done with this tail. It's just to get the spade done. It is a really nice shade of red. I really like this kind of cherry colour. Kind of reminds me of like holly berries. I'm feeling Christmassy today, can you tell? Literally only because my boyfriend went and found a Christmas lo-fi beats to relax to playlist. I'm not sure if it was like a meme or not. But we had that going on earlier, so. Hey, Angelus Lucius, welcome to the stream. I'm pleased you could make it. We are almost finished with putting the base colours on a lovely Tiefling. And then we're going to start the fun part of actually shading them. Okay, so first of all, let's do a save. Second of all, let's make sure our skin layer has the alpha channel locked so we can't paint over the lines. And finally, start thinking about what colour we want to go for next. As I say, we've got this really rich red, which is like a brighter colour of what we started with. I'm going to use a little bit of that on the cheeks, just to give a bit of a blush. If Photoshop lets me. Did let me, all at once. That's not what I wanted. So just a little bit of this to suggest the blush. And then of course blending it in. Don't know why Photoshop's throwing a wobbly. This piece isn't even that big file-wise. Okay. Next color, we're gonna go for this nice deeper purpley red. Often reds darken to a purple, so what we're going to do, we're not going to use it outright to start with, we're going to use a shaded, kind of half-mixed version of it. And take that around the side of the head there. And we're going to zoom in as we start layering up this shadow. With a smaller brush, I'm going to go in and checking out reference, because you want to make sure you're always checking references while you do this kind of thing. Add some shadow to the corner of the eye there. And it's also gonna come down there. Don't worry, this is gonna be softened a bit, but it's just to start this off. And then, nope, I said to make the brush smaller. Listen to me. Arr. Come around the eye. We might as well just shade that whole area for now. We can add light later. We'll do the same on the other side. Like so. Bring this around to, again, help suggest where the bottom eyelid is. And then blend some of this back in. Oh, for crying out loud, Photoshop is so laggy today! Ah, it's driving me mental! Come on. I'm getting like half a second delay with my strokes. Jeez. Doesn't like red. But I am otherwise doing very well. Angelus Lucius, all good here. Been pretty busy this week, but quietening down for the weekend, which will be really nice. Alright, there we go. There's a kind of starter to our shading coming in there. And let's make sure we've blended this bit in nicely. It might have done. I'll have to check it later, but usually Windows Ink is turned off. It's alright. We're getting a nice kind of start here. So next I want to add some shadow around the chin. A little bit of a lighter shade because we're going to take this down and around the whole kind of chin like so. And on the other side. And then we'll take that darker colour and run that around the bottom of the chin. Alright, and we're starting to get the contours of the face, which is good. Do I have specific brush sides I use? Not really. The only things I have specific sizes for are when I'm doing a line art, I tend to use between a size 6 and a size 9. Usually around the middle, 7 or 8 for most things. A size 6 for detailed bits like the features of the face I was using. But other than that, in terms for doing like the shading of the face, that kind of color stuff, I don't really have any specific sizes. Okay, let's blend in this darker shadow up here with the blush a bit. And we've got a nice smooth transition. And what I'm going to do next is we're going to just use a little bit of this dark tone in a few other areas that need it, such as there's going to be a shadow cast as the fringe flops over. And there's going to be a little bit of shadow there on the horn. Oh, no, come on. There we go. I'm also going to just colour in the entire neck darker because it's going to be in more shadow than the face. Just to kind of help us along seeing what we're doing for now. So, next thing to do is pick more colours for shadows. So we're going to get that original nice dark colour. And now we might actually be ready to use it without having to water it down, so to speak. Okay, and so for example we can see there is more dark coming around here that we can then blend in. Like so. And what we also want to do, when Virgil bloody well caught up with me, is take some of this light up and around to here. And same on the other side. And at this point, we can actually remove some lines. I'm going to take out these lower lid guidelines. We don't need those anymore. That's great. And then I'm going to go back to this dark tone. Oh look, we haven't had a spammer for a while. Lucky us. Wow, they're really spamming it in today, aren't they? Great. They're really insistent. You will be famous. Oh my god, Jesus Christ. This way Stu is in chat. Who could deal with that? Are they? So many bots. Like, you usually don't get this many. Oh, for crying out loud. There we go. Hive, bring a sword. Just going to whack them all. Yeah, you're doing great. Thank you so much, Stu. Fireball them all one by one. Stu takes no prisoners. That's what we like to see. Okay. Alright, now we've smoothed up a bit more around there. It might be worth getting a darker color to play with. So, we're gonna try this one. So much banhammer coming down, I love it. I wonder why they all came at that moment. Alright, so some of the things I want to do, I want to use a slightly deeper tone on this lower part of the face here. And then, of course, as always, we blend it back in. And we'll do something similar on the other side. Because we've also got a bit of shadow coming down from the nose on the other side, so just gonna delicately kind of suggest that. It's alright, thank you so much for helping deal with it, Stu. You fight the bots, I'll fight Photoshop. Alright, so a little bit of dark at the corner of the lips there. And I think we're almost ready to start moving on to some highlights. So I don't know why Photoshop is acting so weird today. It's very strange. Anyway, new layer above the skin. Create clipping mask as usual. And we're going to grab some of these nice colours I've already picked from up here. We'll start with this one. It's quite nice and rosy. I think this one's going to be for the forehead. So we'll just blend that right in. And then we can go a shade lighter. I'm going to go for this nice pink. And we've got a bright kind of fan of light in the center of the forehead here. Just going to go down a little bit down there, but first we will need to blend it into the surrounding colours. We'll put the shadows back in a bit. That's the nice thing, we kind of work this stuff out as we go along. And then it's just a steady process of blending it back in. Amazing. Thank you so much, Stu. Wonderful mod. Let's give Photoshop a minute. Lovely, that's very cool. I'm learning about Twitch today. Alright, we've got that fairly nicely blended there, so we can go ahead and start to add this shadow back in gently. Got some real pain in my shoulder today. It's odd. Alright, so we've got that highlight on the forehead. Just gonna see how that looks without and with. And now we need to do basically the same with the cheeks. So we'll start with this nice kind of slightly deeper pink and work up from there. So with a large brush, I usually use the cheekbones as a good starting point. And then work inwards from there. In this case, we need this nice light to come, oh, for goodness sake. There we go, to sweep forwards towards the eye. And then down. So we've kind of got it there, coming across there. And then we'll have it on the other side in roughly the same sort of places. Alright, you can kind of see when you zoom out the way those highlights hit the face there. And then they're also going to have some on top of the chin. Like so. Hey Lezef, welcome to the stream. Thank you very much for joining us. I was informed today of a very important truth. The huge cuddly brown bear at IKEA, Dunkelskog, is back in stock today. This is huge news for me, because I really want a Dunkelskog. He's just basically a pillow teddy bear. I feel like Dunkelskog is one of those famous internet phenomena at this point. Just gonna blend in that corner of the cheek. It's always a little bit difficult, that one. Especially when Photoshop is fucking around. There we go. Thank you so much, WH Publications and Dancing Sunlight, for following. Hope you enjoy the stream. Sorry we had a bit of a bot nightmare a minute ago, but that has been now resolved. Alright, nice, we're getting there. We're slowly getting this blend nice and smooth. Okay, and then we're also going to have some actual light points above the lips. Here and here, coming down like that. And then to match that, we're going to have shadow coming in a little bit like so. And of course under the nose, but we'll get to the nose shadows when we get there. For now, we want to get this all looking smooth and nice. Okay, and now we're just going to start chasing the same on the other side when I've got this corner looking nice. There we go, nice and smooth. Yeah, Dunkelskog is back, or Jungleskog. I'm not an expert on the pronunciation, but at least it's back in the UK, and I really want one. Any donations put forward this week will go towards Jungleskog. And if I get Jungleskog, I will make sure that they appear on stream. They'll be like sat behind me. They'll be my manager. Alright, blend is gradually getting there. That's the thing with fantasy skin tones. I find sometimes the blending can be a lot harder. Yeah, please do. Can you spell it out phonetically in chat for me? I feel more comfortable if I was getting it right. Big precious bear. Ah, I see Nightbot is now coming down hard on everyone. No mercy. Okay, we're almost there. Let's make sure we save, because that was a lot of blend. A lot of blending work we just did. I do not want to lose. Yes, this is a Tiefling bard. They are very adorable, honestly, and I love them. But no, they have a Tiefling bard who has a violin, which is a really nice instrument I don't get to see very often in bards. But it does also mean it's quite complicated to paint. So that's my fun for the next few days. Learning to paint a violin. That's a bit bright, isn't it? Okay, we're actually coming on quite nicely. I think we want to add a bit more light in a couple of places, as well as a bit more tidying up in a few more places. So, we'll start with the tidying up side of things. And then some light. In this case, there and here, very much in the inner side of the eyes. Thank you so much, Froster the Man, for Froster the Man. Why did I say it like that? For following. Yeah, no one here will complain about tieflings, which is what I am eternally grateful for. You lot have taste. Ugh, my fringe going everywhere today. Okay, so that took a long time, but we've done it. I'm gonna do a new layer for the next level of light, just in case I go mess it up, because I'm terrified of spoiling all that nice blending we just worked on for ages. Come on, Photoshop. Oh, it's being so slow, Jesus. There we go. We did save. I'm gonna save again. Thanks so much, Stu, for stopping by and saving us from the bot incursion. Alright, let's also add a little bit of light on the chin. Gonna have some right there on the top. And on the cheekbones, why not? Let's stick a little on there too. You know, once Photoshop's got its act together, feels like doing it. It does not, in fact, feel like doing it for me. Okay, so it is working, it's just slow. That's fine, I can work with slow. I cannot work with not working. Vex Axe's mind. That's not tempted. I think maybe if we just stick to some smaller brushes, it might argue with me a bit less. There we go. That's behaving a lot better. I don't know what got into it before. thank you so much, Pichiao, for the subscription. That's so kind of you. It honestly makes a huge difference, so thank you so much. I'm sorry you're swamped with work right now. I hope that it eases up for you soon, or maybe having lots of work is good. I don't know. But even so, I hope it's not too overwhelming. Okay, so I think the next thing I want to do here is I think we need to put the nose in so we can kind of see where the rest of it's going. And as I do that, I just want to add a little bit of light here and there to these eyes. Goodness gracious, it's really not working with me today. Oh well, I'll stop complaining about it and just paint and maybe ignore it, it'll go away. Maybe we could be so lucky. Okay, so let's merge these down first. And then make a new layer above the skin, once again clipping masked, and this will be our nose. And we'll use that as the base for the nose, I think. Nice deep red. And basically, my usual Animal Crossing method, as I call it, we create that kind of base triangle, blend in the sides so it's nicely kind of blended in the surrounding skin. Nope, not ready yet. There we go. And then just carefully blending in those edges. Don't want to lose this nice dark tone we've got coming in there. But equally, we don't want to lose the nice light coming from above, so we'll try and get that blended in too. I'm not quite sure. Let me just get rid of, there's a line up here we don't need on the brow there. We don't need that at all. Oh, thank you so much for the sub gifts. Oh my goodness. Pichiao, you are amazing. Thank you so much. Everyone, Pichiao is amazing. So kind. So everyone who now has a wonderfully kind subscription donated by Pichiao, you should be able to have access to the Discord, which means you can come hang out with everyone on Discord. Simple as that, really. Alright, let's work on the next step of the nose. Next thing I'm going to do is take a nice dark colour. We've already got one up here, which is quite nice. We'll take that to start with. Going down to a nice small brush. 10 will do just fine for now. We're going to add some shadow and light to the nose, starting with shadow. And this will kind of start us off. Then we'll go to that to start blending in some of these darker colours. You know, when it gets its act together. There we go. Let's save again because I'm really starting to expect a crash. Tieflings are wonderful. They're definitely one of my all-time favorite kind of sub-races to play. So much fun. Alright, now just defining the side of the nostril. Kind of working that back in. Then we can do that on the other side. Since our lighting is fairly even in this one. Okay, now we've roughly worked out those shapes, we can put the diamond on, which is basically the part of the nose which I find reflects the most light in this case. Okay, so it'll go about there. Then we basically just need to blend in some of the edges. And then add a bit of light coming down the side for the nostrils, so they're not just super dark. Like so. And then we can basically, once Photoshop's lets me even use the zoom tool, my goodness. What we're going to do then is draw this light up the nose itself towards the light coming down from above. And then again, it's just kind of blending until we've got the lines and contours that we need. So then we can take that lighter colour once again. That's gonna blend a little bit around the base. Take that nice bright pink and add some nice bright spots of colour for the nose. In this case, this nose has more of a kind of little V right at the bottom, just to get the shape in there. Kenku and Aarakocra are also wonderful to play. I've really enjoyed playing them the few times that I have. Alright, we have the basic shape of the nose. We need to go in and add a bit more detail now. So I'm going to make a new layer above the lines. As usual, this will be called overlines. And it allows us to add a bit more detail. So in this case, we're going to take this dark brown, browny purple at this point, find a darker version of it, and we're going to use that to get rid of some of the line art. Like so, eventually. We might not even need to go that dark. Let's get a slightly lighter version of it, I think. And we can just use that to add some colour and tone around the nose. And then obviously we will need a darker version for the nostril itself. Just a little bit gentler to work out the rest of the nostril there. And then what we'll really want to do is blend in some of the surrounding lower area of the nose. It's a little bit messy at the bottom right now. And we're going to have this nice light colour is actually going to come up almost under the nostril itself a little bit. And then we'll need to blend it in with the surroundings. And then when we zoom out, we have a nose. So let's just save that again, because we don't want to lose it all. We really don't. And then I can go in and just add a bit more detail where I feel it's required. For example, I think that shadow should come down a bit further there and there. And yeah, I'm quite happy with that. And then this also, my reference also shows a little bit of light right in this corner. But I don't know if actually that's okay. That actually kind of makes sense in situ. Alright, so with that, we have a nose. Which means we can now do lips, which are going to be fun. We'll start with the top lip. We're going to use colours we've used elsewhere to try and not introduce too many new ones. We'll try this as the starting colour for the top lip. I might change that. I might even push it. We're already kind of neatly in pink, so we'll keep that where it is for now. Thank you so much, XZXDX, for following. Please, I said that right first time. Alright, this top lip. Let's make a new layer for the bottom lip. Which I think I'm going to use this as a base for. Doesn't want to work with me. Okay. Alright, now we've got the lips kind of marked out, we can start to shade them and add some nice colour and stuff. So, going back to the top lip, where we'll start off, I'm going to add some nice purpley tones from these dark shadow colours. Just to get us going, and we'll then take them darker to add some more shadow. And we'll make our brush smaller as well. Well, thank you so much, Rebel, for stopping by. As always, have a lovely afternoon. I look forward to seeing you next week. Alright, it's getting some nice shape in there. What we're going to do is we're going to add, kind of use these colours to add shadow to the bottom lip. Okay. So at this point, we can actually paint over the bottom of the line art as well. We don't need that anymore. Whoops, not on the line art, over the line art. Then we'll use this nice dark colour to just base the bottom lip on. I'm starting to get kind of Ahsoka vibes from this character actually, which is really cool. I love Ahsoka. going to take it back a little bit. Just make it a little bit more gentle than it was. And kind of check that we like the shape. I think it needs to come back a little on this side. So that's what we're going to do. Yeah, that's better. Also, I think it needs to come back a little on this side as well. Up here. My glasses. Alright, we're actually almost there with the lips, which is great. We need to add a bit more shading. So slightly bigger brush so it doesn't just get lost. We'll go in and do that, and we'll also want to put some more shadow on this side. Come on. I have to go check, see if Windows Ink is still turned on. I think that might be the cause of my problems. Alright, so with that done, what do I want to do next? We kind of want to get rid of the heavy line that is the center. So let's try and do that next. Wait for that to catch up. And then once again, blending. And I might use this opportunity to overline the top lip as well. Get rid of that line art. Okay. Nice. Now we can just cut back this bit a bit. There's a lot of kind of give and take to get the shapes you want. Alright, lovely. I'm quite happy with those lips are turning out. Just a tiny bit more work to get the shape right. Such as there. And then we can add a little bit more in the way of lighting as well. Yeah. Tieflings back to back does seem to do the business around here. Kind of see all the difference that layer makes. Cool. Nice, nice. Alright, so I'm going to add some nice bright bits of light now. Bit of a contrast going on. In fact, I think it's time we introduce ourselves to everyone's favourite layer, the shiny layer. Or Chinese layer, as I know people like to call it. Some shinies on those lips. And then we can kind of cut away from them. If I get the eraser tool going. kind of minimize it down a bit. It was a bit too bright, I think. There we go, that's a bit better. Now we can add a bit to top lip as well. Top lip also needs some shine. Have some nice shiny lips, which is great. So I'm gonna go down to overlines, just add a little bit in the way of... There we go. A little bit away in texture, just on there. But I think it's time we saved again. Amazing. Okay, so there's actually some really good progress that we've made there, especially with Photoshop lagging out and being a bit weird today. So with that, I think that's probably where we're going to leave it. It does not feel like we've been going for an hour and 40 minutes, but I suppose we have. So with that being said, I think I'm going to put some links in chat. First of all, if you would like to see this piece finished, as well as details about when I'll be streaming next, and when my commission's opening, and all those sorts of details, do follow me on my Twitter. That's where you'll find all that kind of info. Next up, if Twitter isn't really your thing, give me a follow on Instagram. I post the same artwork up on there, as well as costume making, miniature painting, all that jam, really. Next up, if you purely want to see my portfolio, ArtStation is the place to have a look at it. Excuse me. All my best stuff is on my ArtStation, so if that sounds vaguely interesting, go have a look at that. Next up, I now have a YouTube channel. I'm kind of going through a bit of rebranding at the moment, but if you missed the start of this stream, or you'd like to see any of my other painting streams, that's the place to go check it out. I've got quite a few weeks worth of streams up there, and I'm planning to maybe start working on a bit of new content for the channel starting this weekend, so fingers crossed that goes alright. We'll have to wait and see. Next up, music. The music you've been hearing in the stream today is all by a wonderful artist named Kai Engel. You can find their work on the Free Music Archive, as well as on Spotify and various other places. It's great because it's royalty-free, not loyalty-free. What does that mean? It's also really beautiful and atmospheric, so great for gaming, that kind of stuff. And then last but most certainly not least, a link to my Patreon. If you are able to throw a bit of support my way and you like the work I do, please consider becoming a patron. There are various kind of bonuses you get for doing so, such as seeing exclusive artwork, works in progress and tutorials, as well as when commissions roll around, you will get priority. Which reminds me, I might be opening for some flat shaded portrait commissions this afternoon, so keep an eye on Patreon and Twitter because I'll be posting probably to Patreon first. So if you want to try and nab a flat shaded portrait slot, do keep an eye open, and that should be going live later today. So without further ado, thank you all so very much for joining me this afternoon. It's been lovely. I will be back next week on Wednesday at 5 o'clock GMT, same as usual, for some more painting. And who knows, maybe we'll paint something other than a tiefling next week. We can only dream. So until then, have a wonderful weekend, stay safe and stay warm, and I will see you all soon. And take care of yourselves until then. Bye!